Hello everyone, this is Josh Briscoes and Wrenches, and this video is going to be a little bit different than what we normally do. Normally we're working on a car or taking it out and thrashing it. In this video we're going to be doing the opposite. We're going to be doing cleaning, and I know, it's weird for a car guy to say. But right behind me is my giant shop. When I originally moved in here, my dad had used this shop for like 30 years of working on his construction business. It was packed full of old equipment, old good parts that have been sitting for like 25 years that weren't good anymore. A bunch of stuff that I will show pictures up here. When I first moved in here a couple years ago, we got that truck running and driving for my dad for his birthday present. Pulled it out, unloaded all that crap off of it, and made it where I can work on here with my cars. Then, well, my Crown Victoria got ripped apart right here in the first bay. And well, back here used to actually be walled off. I had a wall of fence that you guys can still actually see the remainder of right back there, walled off from about here over to my door because, well, middle of winter, last winter, my dogs decided to eat through my fence. So I had to redo my fence. I made a little enclosure in here for them, made a bigger enclosure outside for them. So that way they can't get out anymore. And now I have access to all my shop area back here, but I have to do a lot of cleaning. As you guys know, I'm an idiot. I love collecting parts. I love collecting old junky cars. And, well, my dad was the same way, but with construction equipment. If it was a good deal, he would buy it even if he didn't really need it. I think that's where I got my impulsive buying from. And I'm going to split this cleanup into separate videos. Right now, as you guys can see right here by the entrance, I have like half of it walled off, where the big old double doors are at, with engine parts. I have transmissions for my Crown Victoria. I have heads that are still in the boxes. I have dogs whining in the background because they're in here and they want my attention. But another thing is, too, an old guy had moved away. Some new people moved into his house, and they had a giant sale of basically all the stuff that he left in his garage. And there was so much stuff there that I really didn't necessarily need, but would be really cool to have. And I made them a bulk offer on a lot of it, and I ended up getting it. I have multiple carburetors here. That turbo is off that old Mercedes, so it doesn't count. But I have intake, carburetor. I had more carburetors that I gave to my buddy. I have aluminum 4-barrel intakes. I have more intakes under there. I have boost gauges, camshafts, rockers, air intakes, valve covers, more camshafts, heads, brand new in-box Chevy 350 heads. I have coils. I mean, I have lowering kits for like an 04 Mustang. I have a bunch of stuff that, well, I didn't really need, but I think I paid like $200 for all this stuff, or $300. And, well, quite frankly, the other stuff I got that I'd already used was pretty much worth that price. So all this other stuff that I haven't even used yet was just thrown in for free. And I have a plan for where all this stuff's going to go, and let me show you guys that right now. It's not back in there. That will be a different video. But back over here, by right next to where my dogs are at, because the little buttholes decided to crack open my fence and run out there and do all that stuff. Back here in this corner where this wood shelf is at, I have actually cleaned a lot of this stuff, and this junk pile that I got going on right here came from back in here. It was stacked up basically the whole way up to this top shelf here. But back in here is going to be my motor area. Back in here, I'm going to put all of my heads, my intakes, all that crap right here on these shelves, and make a little wall so that the dogs can't pee or splash water or anything over and ruin my parts. I'm going to clean up all this area here, put my motor stands here, all that stuff, put, like I said, tables and lights and stuff back in here so I can work on motors, and that's where we're going to be cleaning out today. And well, without further ado, I'm going to put on some music in my ear. I'm going to grab some gloves. And, well, we're just going to start working through all this crap. There is a motor back here already. This is my dad's old 390 from an old 67 Galaxy he still has. This thing is blown up. It's bad. He put a new motor into that thing, had it hopped up, and this is where the old motor and transmission ended up. I don't know if we're going to do anything with this. I don't know if he wants to keep it for the original, numbers matching motor for his car or not. I don't know. We'll see later. But right now I need to unbury all this crap. There is so much crap here, and there was so much more before I even started back here. It was bad. But I'm going to put on some music. I'm going to put on some music for you guys, and I'm just going to cut back in every now and then if I find something cool. Or if I die or anything like that, I might cut back in. Or if I slip and cut open my hand or cut off my hand, you guys will see it. But other than that, you guys are just going to have some music. We're going to hang out. We're going to chill. And we're going to start cleaning up my shop and getting it where I wanted it to be. I'm going to clean this doorway out so that way I can get that cart out of there. Put all of his stuff that's good on that cart and pull it into this room because he's going to come clean out the woodworking shop. He told me to put all of the good tools in there so he can sort through them and see which ones he wants to keep. This old school chainsaw here. Holy crap. Look at this whole thing. That's cool. I want to get this thing running. It does not have a spark plug in it. That does not give me hope. At all. Does it spin over? Oh, it spins over. There's hope for this whole thing. I think this is the bar for it. Yeah. Oh, I got so much room for activities now. Dude, look at all this room here. You're kind of zoomed out so you can get a full like 360 of my area here. So you guys probably can't tell the room, but here, I wear a size 11, so they're pretty close. My feet are pretty close to a foot. So let's see here, 1 foot. I'm gonna space them out a little bit so we'll get about a foot apart. 1 foot, 2 foot, 3 foot, 4 foot, 5 foot, 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot. So about 8 foot between my shelves on either side. So that's about a 10-foot wide area. Buy and brought another 10 foot wide just for engines, baby. And I got so much shelf room. Let me show you guys. So I'm 6 foot. That shelf over there is a hair bit taller than me. I've got all these shelves over here, which like I said are about 10 foot wide. And then I've got all these ones right back here. I'm going to work through, I don't know which of these air compressors are good. I was told a couple of them were good. A couple of them had bad motors but good tanks. A couple of them had good tanks but bad motors. So I'll work through those and I'll have even more room here. But I got so much room for activities, dude. My plan is that back wall just full of motors like that Galaxy motor is. Probably about 3 or 4 of them there. And then I can just build whatever motor I'm building here and here. I can build 2 motors at once and I can have my full shelf here. Ugh, a lot of dust and shit picking all this stuff up. Can have all my shelves here accessible with all my parts. So I can rebuild heads and lap valves, and I mean, like I said, basically put heads together and everything right here. Rebuild carburetors right there. Put intakes together. I've got so much room for activities now. Woo-wee! I am going to clean an area, a little walkway right here, because I have it kind of leaned this way. Bunch of stuff. My pile of junk has grown significantly, and it's kind of blocking my walkway through there. I'm going to make that wider, and I'm going to make that wider off screen. You guys probably aren't going to see that because it's just going to be me taking trash and kicking it over that way. And then I'll pick back up when I start shuffling parts over here and kind of fill all this area with parts. All right, I've got a path made through there. And now I'm going to put a little tarp on that shelf to the right there, like I said. And then I'm going to start shoveling parts in here. So you guys will see that in this next time lapse. You guys can see my dogs hanging out in the background. They chilling. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, and just like that, I actually have an area to work on motors that's got all my parts organized and not just in a junk pile where I can't even get to them. This right here is my TV. I've got a bunch of old flat screens that have bad screens in them. The backlights on these things are just, oh my god, I got the hiccups real bad all of a sudden. But the backlight on these things is actually just pure LEDs. So if you ever have an old flat screen TV that's junk and you need a backlight for your shop, take the back covers off, make sure not to get zapped, pull the screen off of it, and boom, you got a big old LED light, and these things light up a bunch. And if you still have the remote, you have a controllable light. I'm going to finish this one up. I got to do some wiring to it. I'm going to hang it right there above my little table here, so if I ever need a light, I've got it all right there. But look at the amount of room for activities we got going on. And all right, ladies and gentlemen, the only real things left over here are old junk distributors and old junk starters, some chains and stuff like that, and a bunch of my tarps I'm going to fold up and put somewhere else. So we've got a bunch of stuff that is actually back there where it needs to be. All this stuff is my Crown Vic stuff. I want to keep it over here separate, and all that stuff I'm going to use on it so it doesn't get mixed in with all my other parts. But I need to organize under here. There is a few more other random car parts and RV parts and stuff like that I need to get through. But for now, over here, it looks a hell of a lot better. I can actually get to the parts I need to get to. And back there, they're way more organized. Now, like I said, I'm sorry it wasn't a video where we're going out rescuing something out of a junkyard, doing some fun stuff to the Lincoln, the Buick, anything like that. But it's cold outside. I need to work on my shop, and I need to quit putting it off. And, well, if I don't finish up my shop, I do not want to be outside when it's like 0 degrees with a wind chill working on a car underneath it, rewiring stuff. It's straight up not going to happen. I need the area to work on my Crown Vic, to put that thing back on the ground, roll it back here whenever I get the junk pile here cleaned up. And I can pull, like I said, I can pull my Crown Vic back here. I can work on it, and I can pull another car in front of it and work on that. And I can actually have room to do all that stuff. But this is giving me really, really big hope. This was a big chunk of crap. This back stuff in this corner, like I said, has been here for like 20, 30 years. So I'm glad to finally have it in a junk pile, and I'm going to start working through that junk pile, dumping it into a dump trailer, taking it off to the landfill, all that fun stuff, and, well, moving on to the next part of the shop that needs cleaned. And, well, let me know what you guys want to see next down in the comments with this shop. Do you guys want to see me work on the loft where the four-wheelers are at next? Do you guys want to see me clean up this really, really messy wood shop back here, which is just chock full of crap? Do you guys want to see me clean up that junk pile and clean up this back wall with all these old weed eaters, doors, garage doors, normal doors, steps, all that stuff? What do you guys want to see next in the shop fixing up series? Just like always, I try my best to mold my channel to what you guys want to see. I am obviously going to do all this stuff anyways, but as you guys know, like I've said a billion times, if a bunch of you guys want to see something more than a bunch of other stuff, I'll try to work on that thing first. And that way, I'm keeping my projects going, I'm keeping you guys happy, I'm keeping me happy because stuff is actually getting done and I'm not just being a lazy ass sitting on my couch all day. And at the end of the day, everybody wins. Now, without me rambling along anymore, it is Sunday. I need to go out and get some grocery shopping, meal prep for the week, wash my clothes and everything because this hoodie and all my pants got super, super dusty from doing all this before I got to work tomorrow on Monday. This was Josh from Rishka's Wrenches, finally starting the fixing up process of my shop that has been basically a catch-all can for like basically as long or longer than I've been alive. If you guys like this type of stuff, let me know by clicking that like button, clicking that subscribe button, clicking that notification bell if you want to be notified whenever I upload next, and leaving a comment down below, like I said, with whatever you want to see next. Do you want to see me work on the shop more next? Do you want to see me work on the Crown Vic next? Let me know down in the comments below. I do my best to follow your guys' recommendations. And without further ado, like I said earlier, this was Josh from Rishka's Wrenches. I hope you guys are having a good day, night, week, whatever it is. I hope you guys are having a great one. I hope to see you guys in the next one. Peace out and goodbye. Want to be the guy that, you know, filmed random children without their consent. That'd probably put me on a watch list somewhere.
Mr. nicknames his private member Lazarus because he has risen from